Motorsports NT. This is their local classes that race during the dry season up here. And Adam Ubergang will start at a pole position as he's done all weekend long alongside the South Aussie Andrew Maros as they're on the formation lap here. There was over 20,000 people here, and you can see that big shot on your PRG super screen of everybody up on Shenanigans Hill there enjoying today's action. I'm sure many were here last night for Smash Mouth and Casey Chambers at our Race and Rock concert series. Tonight being rounded up by Art vs Science and Sneaky Sound System are back after being here a couple of years ago to finish up what has been 3 fabulous days of V8 supercar action here as part of the Sky City Triple Crown. We'll take a look at some of the names that we see. The 72 machine pulling up there already on the track. That's Scott Cameron, and that's looking like it's down into the valley section. He's come off at turn number 5 right now. The Aussie NASCAR Tours entry pulls up right in front. He can see himself on the PRG super screen right now when he climbs out of that HQ. Is scheduled to start further down the field, in fact, out of 21st position. And we'll see Tim Playford staying out of position number 3. We've got Stephen Ling out of position 4, first of the Commodore Cup cars. Then David Ling, the president of the Motorsports NT Group, up here, starts out of 5. Out of 6, Peter Casato has been moving his way up through the field all weekend long. He's the under 2 litre class leader so far this weekend. You're looking at 4 different classes through the field: the over 2 litre, the under 2 litre, Commodore Cup and HQs also, as we see Michael Halkitis lining up against Wright in car number 34 on the grid. Just waiting for the last of the remaining cars to join the field. Adrian Kroonstad has been put rear of field. If you recall yesterday's first race, he started from pit lane and roared his way up into the top 8 when the checkered flag came out at race end there. On the 4th row, we'll see Craig Wright, Michael Halkitis, we just saw on screen then, Simon Bulash and Carla Karpenko start out of position 9 and 10, and Tim Riley and Clayton Otley. Behind them is Anthony Henwood. Scab Banowski starts out of position 14. Warren Trewin is next, and Gavin Thompson among some of the stars. The green flag waves at the back of the field. Final race of the weekend of the Improved Production Commodore Cup and HQs, thanks to Shannon's. And Maros gets the jump this time, as he did yesterday in that second race, and he'll lead the field down to turn number 1 on this, the first lap. Ubergang's going to have to slide back to second position here as they head down into turn 1. So Maros picks up the lead. Ubergang back to second. That's Playford. Then it's Ling. That's Stephen Ling back into 4th position, the first of the Commodore Cup cars. Then it should be Wright next. David Ling there on screen, the president of the Commodore Car Club up here in the Northern Territory, is next as they all filter their way through the back section. This is where the damage was caused. To the left is a challenge for the lead now from Ubergang. He moves up and takes the race lead. Playford decides he will have a piece of this too. Maros driving defensively as they head down to turn 6, the slowest point on this 2.87 kilometre circuit that Hidden Valley Raceway boasts. They drop down the downhill section of turn number 7, so it's already looking like it did yesterday, isn't it? Playford all over the back of Maros. Stephen Ling is next, then Wright, David Ling, Casato, Wilson back inside the top 10, and Halkitis rounding out that group of cars. Through the back section they come, the downhill run to the final turn, then the 1.1 kilometre main straight. Runs parallel to the drag strip, which we'll see later in the year with the Andrew Drag Racing Series coming up to race the Top Alcohol and Top Bike Series in late August. Across the line comes Ubergang, 126.59, 128.62 for Maros. So already 2.03 seconds is the gap. And Maros will do his best to hold on here as Playford buys a lot of real estate in the braking zone to turn number 1. Behind them you've got Ling, Wright, Wilson up into 6th position now. David Ling is next. Casato, Kroonstad has moved his way through the field to 9th position. Then Halkitis in 10th, Smith 11th, Bulash in 12th, Carla Karpenko back to 13th, then Crystal and Otley. As we see car 35 in front of us here as the cars go through the flip-flop section up into the braking zone at turn number 5. Back on screen, it was Bruce Panting that we saw off the track then in the Commodore Cup car, as we see Maros being menaced by Playford now as they sweep through the back section. One of the local races here. Maros, of course, the South Aussie out there in this awesome Chrysler Pacer, is now Playford looking to stick the car to the inside. Maros gives him racing room, albeit not that much, and we've got a change of position now. Playford moves up into second, and Maros now falls back into third. The McMahon Services entry coming back onto the main straight, but Ubergang is doing what he's done all weekend, isn't he? Just disappearing into the distance on this race. Lap number 3 of 8 here. The Shannons in pre-production. Commodore Cup and HQs. Maros using the big Mopar power of this pacer and drives around Playford. Down to turn 1 they go again. Using up all the brakes of this pacer. Into 1 he goes. Oh, Playford goes wide. They're foxing each other a bit here, aren't they? They come out of turn 2 and down this little brief section. It sweeps right, then across the top of the chicane. There's Panting's car on screen now that pulled up on the previous lap. Maros back in 3rd position now. Nothing changed out in front. A 1:19.83 for Uber Gang last time around. We've still got Wilson in 4th. Ling is in 5th. That's Stephen Ling, class leader in Commodore Cup still. Right now the leader in under 2 litre in pre-production. Kroonstuyver up to 7th. David Ling in the next to the Commodore Cup cars is in 8th. Then Casato and Smith rounding out your top 10. Leader in the HQs is Scab Banowski at the moment, back in 22nd position. Warren Trewen is next, then Gavin Thompson and Gary Pendlebury inside the top 5 of the HQs. Speaking of David Ling, here he is, being challenged by Peter Casato now in that little Ford Escort. I head around the back section of the track. The leader is on the main straight to reel off this lap. Ling, defensive driving here. He's trying to hold on to this position, running 2nd in the Commodore Cup class, but running 8th overall. A kick up of dust there. As they come on this straight. Barry Smith has dropped right back in this one too. The Commodore was running inside the top 4 yesterday. Now stretches the legs of the VP Commodore. He's going to take 2 in 1 swoop here down the main straight and moves up into, that will be now 8th position. So Caroline Pendlebury's car is in pit lane. It's been there for a little over 2 minutes now on our screen. Dropping down the order, we've seen Panting, Cameron, Furness and Ian Roots also out this one. This battle continues, doesn't it? They're side by side going down to turn 5, and Ling doesn't want to give this one up. The 51 sweeping right out Kroonstuyver. That was gutsy. That was a very gutsy pass there for Kroonstuyver. He hung tough on the outside and now gets the car all sorts of out of shape at that brutal turn 6 hairpin. Trying to do his best, coming through the field in car number 51. Up to 5th position now. There's Smith in the VP Commodore. As they're going around the back section now. Lap traffic is coming up soon for our race leader. He's working lap number 4 of this 8-lap race. So it's been rescheduled on our screens up here now to just a 5-lap race. I've just seen come up on the screen here in race control. Just a 5-lap sprint only for the improved production Commodore Cup and HQs here this weekend. And Motorsports NT, very proud of what they're seeing on the track right now. The local class is getting bigger and bigger every year. Of course, the HQ Nationals were here a couple of months ago, so a lot of them have stuck around for another play around this 2.87 kilometre circuit. Uber Gang is out of here, 5.5 seconds down the road as we look at David Ling heading down to turn 1. Casato looking to line him up for another challenge. You'd think this is where the Escort will be stronger through this section of the track. Here is your race leader, Adam Ubergang, working down to turn number 6 on this one. He's coming up to lap traffic. It's not going to bother him that much now unless he finds a battling duo or a quartet, which we saw yesterday in the HQs. But he could pretty much settle from this point. As we see Playford, he's coming out of turn 6 as we saw Ubergang sweep down into turn 7. The margin, 5.3 seconds. Maros has lost touch now. He's 4 seconds adrift. But look who's on the back of him now. Wilson in the JP Pallets entry is back in this one. These two had amazing battles yesterday, of course, across the 2 races. And racing with a lot of respect, the West Aussie, the JP Pallets entry has been coming up here for a few years now. As your leader comes down the main straight. Checkered flag has been pulled a lap early on this one. And Ubergang will get the win comfortably and wraps up 3 races in succession as we see Playford get 2nd position. To the finish line goes Maros, then it will be Wilson. Kroonstuyver just misses out on 4th position. Smith will be next. Stephen Ling will finish in 7th and win the Commodore Cup class. Wright will finish in 8th and win the under 2 litre class. As the rest of the field continue to come on down the finish line here. Warren Trewen is the leader and should wrap up the HQ class here. He was only a couple of tenths clear though of Gavin Thompson, who's dominated this class over the recent years. McDonald will be 3rd there, Pendlebury will be 4th, then Mostrous, Anderson and Brooker as the rest of the field continue to take the checkered flag. Well done. It was a shortened event due to that incident we had earlier today in the V8 Utes race. But give them a round of applause, Darwin. These are your local races. It's great to have some of the interstate drivers that have stuck around from the HQ Nationals, and some have just come up to play in the sun here as part of the Sky City Triple Crown. It's still on the background there. The 73 of Thompson either got served up or he locked the brakes going off in the back section of the track there, but that'll drop him down the order in the HQ ranks. It's still on down here. This is the battle for the win here. Banowski trying to get around Trewin. Here's a drag race to the finish line. Who's going to get it? I think Trewin will just hold on here, and he does. Gets across the finish line. Not much at the end there. Less than a couple of tenths of a second at the finish line. There he is, though. Well done. Adam Ubergang wraps up the win. A round of applause, folks. He comes past, in fact, to all these races. They've done a great job this weekend supporting the Sky City Triple Crown for 2013. There's plenty of racing these guys will do during the dry season. Motorsportsnt.com.au is the place to check it out. That is the home of Northern Territory Motorsport here at Hidden Valley. It goes all year long, from speedway to drag racing to mud racing, go-karts, motocross, you name it, they do it all up here in the top end. Well done to our team, Shannon's as well, for supporting this class as they've done for many, many years up here now. They head back to the pits. We'll head to the PRG Super Screens and come back soon. A lot of racing still to come this afternoon. The Touring Car Masters, the first of our V8 supercar races at 1 o'clock. We're going to get a buzz over from the F18 Hornet on this day number 3 of the Sky City Triple Crown. There it is, 11:10, the Touring Car Masters on track for their second race of the weekend over 12 laps. A short break. We'll come back soon here on Hidden Valley TV.